Training in Call of Duty Zombies can help you get to a very high round, but where are the 5 best locations of all time? Let's take a look. Hi guys, and welcome back to another top 5 zombie video, and today we're going to be ranking the top 5 best training locations from World at War, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 zombies. But before we begin, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has been watching my videos and subscribing to the channel. The support that I've been getting is absolutely incredible, and I'm so happy that you guys are enjoying the lists. So thank you again, and please just keep it up. But without further ado, let's begin. Starting off our list, at the number 5 spot, we have the Buddha Room off Die Rise from Black Ops 2. Now, I've got a slight confession to make, and that is I never actually train here when I play Die Rise. I always camp on the rooftops. That's my go-to strategy when I play this map. So I don't actually train here very often. But listen, it's still a very, very good place to train. It's very, very spacious. There's a lot of sort of areas where you can move around and maneuver around zombies, and this is the only, well no, there are 2 places to train on Die Rise which are good. Obviously one of them here, and the other one is on the sort of side of the building. It's quite hard to explain, I'm sure you guys know where I mean. It's on the other building, nearish to where the box is. You know, you can train there, or you can train in the Buddha Room. But I think the Buddha Room is the more superior of the 2. Like I said, it's very, very spacious, and yeah, it's just easy. But the reason why it's number 5 and not in a better position on this list is because there are a couple of drawbacks. And the first one is there are no wall weapons in this room. Now you've got the AN-94 and the AK-74U nearby, but you need the trample steam to access them. So if you are running a strategy when you use those 2 weapons and you're trying to rely on ammunition from those 2 guns, then you're going to have to make sure that you've got a trample steam intact, which can be a bit annoying at times. And also, secondly, the zombies do like sort of jump off the higher areas right in front of you, which can put you off, and it can be a bit annoying. And also you can of course fall off the map entirely. So it does have a couple of drawbacks, but listen, it's very easy to train here, and I do think that it does deserve a spot on this list. So I'm going to very kindly put it in at the number 5 spot. Up 1 space, at the number 4 spot, I have gone for Call of the Dead and the training spot next to the AK-74U at the bottom of the lighthouse. Now this is the only training spot on Call of the Dead which is any good, and this is the strategy which people use when they are attempting a high round attempt. And yeah, I do train here pretty much every time I play Call of the Dead, regardless if I'm playing casually or if I'm going for a high round attempt. I always just seem to find myself training at this location here, because it's just very, very easy. There's plenty of room. You just go around in this sort of oval shape. Obviously in this clip there is no George, because I managed to kill him and get the clip after I killed George, but normally you have George sort of wandering around in this area, so that can add to the difficulty level slightly. But I mean, everyone knows this is the best place to train on Call of the Dead when you are attempting like a high round. Also, you do have the AK-74U on the side of the lighthouse, so you can just keep buying ammunition for that if you are using that weapon. So yeah, it's just a nice place to train. There is also a pool of water to cool George down, so if he accidentally hits you, or if you shoot him or whatever and he gets angry, just lead him over to that pool of water, and yeah, you can cool him off. So yeah, there's a nice sort of selection of things in this area which helps it make a nice place to train. So I do believe it does deserve to be on this list, so I'm going to put it in at the number 4 spot. Moving along to the number 3 spot, we have the landing pad training spot on Ascension from Black Ops 1. Now, Ascension is, of course, a famously easy map, and that is because you have the Thunder Gun and you have this training spot here. So it is incredibly simple to maneuver and weaver, your way around the zombies when you're training here, because it's so open, it's so spacious, there's no obstacles in your way,
It's just you're just running around in a big circle, and yeah, it's literally impossible to go down really when you're training here. Like I said, get your hands on the Thunder Gun for a get out of jail card. You don't really necessarily need it. If you're a more experienced trainer, then you shouldn't really have any problem training without the Thunder Gun. So yeah, it's definitely the go-to strategy when attempting a high round attempt on this map. You also have got PhD Flopper nearby and a mystery box location, so you know there's a couple of things there to help you out. And yeah, it's just easy. There's no windows either really that are going to cause you any problems. You have one window next to PhD Flopper, and you've also got one just on the top of the staircase. As you can see in this clip, you've got one window here. So yeah, you haven't really got to worry about them when training here. And yeah, it's just a very simple, a good training spot, I think, if you're, if you want to build some confidence, and you might not be the best trainer. If you want to get better, I would certainly recommend training here, because it just gives you can master the basics of training at this location, in my opinion. So yeah, it definitely does deserve a spot on this list, so I'm going to put it in at the number 3 spot.
However, moving up one place to the number 2 spot, we have the KeytoTon stage, also from Black Ops 1. Now, this is arguably the most famous place to train in Zombies history, in my opinion. There are so many things at this training spot which can help you get to a good round. So to start off with, we have a mystery box location here. You have access to the turret, so the trap. You have access to the M16 on the wall, which is of course the weapon which I'm holding and using in this clip. So if you want to use that as your weapon of choice, you can keep buying ammo for it as a source of infinite ammo. You also have the teleporter, so if you want to make a quick getaway or pack a punch weapon or whatever it may be, you can link up and activate and use the teleporter with great ease. It's in a very convenient location. In addition to this, you've also got claymores on the wall as well, so you can buy them and place them in areas where it can help you out if you get into a spot of bother. And you've also got Juggernog and a bow knife just sort of down there, not actually in the same place where you train, but they're very nearby, which is of course handy. So yeah, it might not be the most spacious place to train. There are a couple of areas where it is quite narrow, but you do have the Thunder Gun, similar to Ascension, so if you want to use that as a get out of jail card, then by all means. But I will say though, if you do train here, you don't want to be opening both the doors on either side of the stage. So you can either leave the dressing room door closed and you come through the alley, or you can go through the actually go through the dressing room and leave the alley door closed. I personally like to go through the dressing room. I think most players do that, but whatever you do, just do not open both doors, because it will screw you over massively. So yeah, I do think that this should be on this list, so it comes in at the number 2 spot. But sitting in at the number 1 spot for the best training spot in Zombies history, we have the ShaNumaCom room. Now, this was the very first place where players trained. So back in the day of World at War Zombies, players just used to camp. So on the Rukt and MatomTV, used to sit in a room or sit in a corner and just sort of hold out until zombies would eventually overwhelm you. And it wasn't until ShaNuma came along where players decided to try and move around a bit, and this is where training actually became a thing in Zombies. And this is the original location here, because it is absolutely perfect for training. It is so easy. You could train a monkey to train here. Listen, just watch the clip. It's so open. It's like running around in a massive, huge circle. You've got, yes, okay, you do have like the swamp and the water, which slows you down. But I mean, is it really going to be that much of an issue? Probably not. If you've got a brain cell in your head, you can just jump through the water, and it shouldn't really be that much of a problem. But listen, if you want to train here, you can get to around 40, 50, 60 easily. Like, it is unbelievably easy. So yeah, by far, by quite a margin, I definitely say that the ShaNumaCom room is the best place to train. Just keep out of the water, just follow this sort of path around. But I will say, you do probably want to use the Wunderwaffe, or at least have it on you, because when you're coming down this part of the training here, sometimes you will get some zombies coming down back towards you. So just shoot them with the Wunderwaffe just to clear, just to clear the path. But yeah, honestly, like I said, you could train a monkey to get to around 50 on this map using this strategy. So yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, this has got to come in at the #1 spot. Now, I do want to give one honourable mention for this video, and that is the war room, or the Pentagon room, on the map 5. Now, the reason why this didn't make the list is there's a few reasons why I do dislike this area. The first one is you got to open up quite a lot of doors to access the full area, and then they all cost 1,250, which is quite annoying. Not a massive issue, of course, in the grand scheme of things, but it's not a positive, is it? Let's be honest. Secondly, you have quite a lot of narrow sort of parts of this training spot, which means you are sort of at risk of being trapped by some zombies, which is again not very good. And lastly, it's quite dark as well, so you can get sort of snuck up by zombies, especially the ones in the darker uniforms. They can sort of sneak up on you, and yeah, it can ultimately get you down. So, but ignoring all of that, or putting that to one side, I should say this is still the best training spot on 5 by an absolute country mile. To be fair, I think it's the only training spot on 5, let's be honest. And if you do want to get to a good round of 5, I would seriously recommend training here as opposed to doing the elevator strategy where you keep going up and down in the elevators. But yeah, I think it's still a very, very good place to train. It's very comfortable. I don't really have many issues personally when I play. You just got to be careful of going through the narrow parts, and just be aware, really. Just be spatially aware of what's going on. Make sure you don't get caught up on anything that might be in your way. So but if you know what you're doing, it is very easy. If you're more experienced at training, then listen, you should have no problem training here at all. So although not good enough to make the actual list, I think it's fair that I give it an honourable mention. So guys, there we have it. There are of course many other different training spots which didn't make this list, so I am keen to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, if you did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe to show your support. Like I mentioned in my previous videos, I am currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you could help me out, that would be awesome. Also, just very quickly, I have created an entire playlist full of different top 5 zombie videos, so if you are interested, please make sure that you check them out as well. But most importantly, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will catch you soon on my next top 5 zombie list. Goodbye.